Obviously, I mean these fake guys, they're trying to produce the new generations of gamers by selling condoms that don't work.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Non-Fungible Twins. I'm Lucas.
And I'm Mark, and we're gaming entrepreneurs as well as the hosts of this podcast.
We always been super curious how things work, and that definitely got us into trouble when we were kids.
So the goal of this podcast is to shoot the shit about cool new business ideas or just things that we found super interesting. And we want to do this with friends or with people we met along the way on our entrepreneurial journey.
We hope you learn as much from this pod as we do and find it entertaining. So join us on our journey from zero to blue chip heroes. All right, Mark, are you ready to start this pod?
Let's fucking go, bro. Let's go, Lucas. What do you got for us today?
Awesome. I am pumped. I'm super pumped. All right, today we're going to talk a little bit about esports. That's for me, my topics. How about you? Can you tease a little bit?
Well,
Are you
all right,
able
all
to
right,
tease?
all right. So a little teaser.
We'll figure it out.
Of course, I gave you the entire tease. All right, so a little tease. I saw this when I was in Milan. The industry, or in general, this exists already for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And high profit margins. That's all I'm going to say now. You can guess later.
Interesting. Yeah, I will guess later. All right.
Sweet.
So my topics are Faceit, Savvy Gaming, as well as Valorant Premier, because it's very relevant right now. Should I start with Faceit?
Right,
what do you know about Faceit, by the way? If
Faceit.
not, let me give you an intro.
Sounds good. All right. I know a little bit about Faceit. I mean, we work in the gaming space, right? So I know a little bit about it. I know this is basically helped for, it started with Counter-Strike, I believe. It's like esports leagues. They at some point have also had tournaments that they organized and that they offered high tier servers with anti-cheat and all this kind of stuff. So it's the high level.
Exactly. All right. Let me just summarize it a little bit better for our audience. So basically, what Faceit is premium league and tournament organizers, where their clients or their users can win also like cash prizes or in-game like assets, for example, skins and etc. And they started in 2012 and they sold last year. All right. So Mark, how many users do you think they had or have right now? Monthly active users.
Okay. I was gonna ask. 7 to 10 million.
That's a good guess. That's a good pro guess, but it's actually 22 million users. And nice. Last year they sold for $500 million. Actually, they were bundled with ESL and sold for 1.5 billion. I mean, that's a huge acquisition. But that actually started me with a rabbit hole with the next company where I'm going to ask you as well. But let's stick a little bit with Faceit. So let's just quickly do. I know we don't do public math, but let's estimate they have an EBITDA of 13 to 20 for valuation. So they made roughly 38 till 25 million a year. Yeah, multiple of 13 to 20 but it's crazy. That's for me super mind blowing. Yeah. All right. So now my rabbit hole I was like, who buys a company for 1.5 billion? And I was like, have you ever heard about Savvy Gaming, Mark?
No. But who buys this kind of stuff? Chinese, Asians. Well, Asian country, specifically China.
Good guess, but no, it's actually Saudi Arabia. So Savvy Gaming, it's called Savvy Gaming Group, started last year in 2020. And guess the fund size that they're having.
In Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
Ooh, 100 million.
No, their fund. Well, if they buy the company for 500 million, 1.5 billion, that's not a thing. All right. Anyways, so basically they have a
1
fund.
Trillion.
They have a
1
fund of
trillion.
No, it's actually 38 billion. Just to give the audience a little bit of a comparison, Bitcraft, which is one of the biggest investors in gaming, has 1.5 billion under management, as well as I think it's called Galaxy Galaxy Ventures, they have, I think, 350 million under assets under management. So it's crazy. So basically, background story, last year they decided, because they were like, hey, we want to push esports more into mainstream in the country. So the king was basically saying, hey, we need this. And yeah, that's why they have, like, I think 19 million, just let me double check, 19 billion just to acquire game producers, so like big publishers, and 13 to buy like smaller ones. So I think that's
Damn.
really, really crazy, because for example, Sequoia has only 13.6 billion under management, which is a lot. Let me finish with Valorant Premier, because that's actually tying in all of it. Because during my research, I was like, all right, Valorant Premier actually launched just yesterday, so on the 29th of April.
Yeah.
So we're recording on the 30th right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, so if Faceit sold for that much, what Valorant Premium did was super, super smart. So they basically, so for those who don't know, Valorant Premier is their own league as well as tournaments. So imagine you are in silver, gold, plat, whatever. You have your own league, and at the end of the chapter, so end of the season, you have playoffs of tournaments,
Yeah.
which is super, super smart, because basically what Faceit did or is doing, just they do it completely internally. And yeah, Mark, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think that's gonna impact the other
Well,
players in the industry?
I think it's pretty smart. I mean, Riot Games is very infamous in the esports or in general in the gaming space for doing everything in house. They are organizing their own league. Well, in general, they have their own leagues. They are in control of their own tournaments. They have their, I think they own their own streaming companies as well. So, not surprised that they're doing this now for Valorant. I mean, they used to have it for League of Legends as well. So smart, really smart, because this way, I think I would compare that more to the system in the US versus Europe in terms of sports leagues. So in the US, you have this: you buy a sports team, and then you kind of lobby and whatever. You're already in the league, and sucks to suck if your team sucks or not, and you get obviously all the revenue or share of the revenue. And in Europe is that you
Yeah,
can actually get delegated or promoted, so you can start a sports team, I don't know, in the 700th league, let's say the 13th league, like a regional league, and then you can get promoted year
yeah,
after year. And after 13 years, you could be in the first league. So I think this is super smart, because then you
exactly.
have a better influx of high talent. You always have the best, and you don't have this, hey, I own this and I'm going to get lazy, etc. It makes it much more interesting for small players, I believe. It's cool. I like it.
I completely agree with that. Also, what they also mentioned when they launched it is basically, because right now, if you want to participate in the Valorant in the VCT, you have to basically do qualifiers, and in the future they will remove that, and
In the what?
everybody needs to
In the
qualify
what?
in house. So it's called VCT's Valorant
Mm-hmm.
Champion Tournament, no, a tour,
Okay.
Valorant Champion Tour,
Okay.
Champions Tour, which is basically the international league, and you need to do qualifiers. And nowadays, or in the future, you won't have to do any qualifiers anymore. The only thing that you
Ah,
have to do is just like play the league, so that enables people like globally, so they're not like restricted by their location. So it's just like enabling more and more people to become pros, which I think I really, really like. And it's also easier to discover talent instead of
so
right now, before you have to go like face it, check out there and everything. So I think that's a really, really smart move.
mhm.
But yeah, I think that was my rant for the day for gaming. And now, Mark, hit me
Wait.
with your
Before
business
I go,
ideas.
I have more questions.
All right.
So, do you know if there's any limitations yet in terms of, well, location? I mean, you said it's work globally, but I mean, there's tendencies that in specific countries the players are better. For example, League of Legends, Korea is infamous, or China. They have like super servers where they're really, really good, and so that they don't have only players from these regions. Is there something in place, or
So right now there's nothing in place because it's very, very early, right? They just launched.
okay?
So also we don't have any data, so for all the podcast listeners, we'll keep you updated.
All right, sweet.
But yeah, that's a very good point. But it's more about restricting that people don't have to, like, due to qualifiers, have to go fly out somewhere. They can do it from home.
Ah,
I
okay,
think
okay.
that's like, it goes more into that direction.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, very, very interesting point. But I think you can't change that you have like global powerhouses like South Korea and like in League of Legends. So I think that's
Yeah.
just because the density or the competitiveness is higher there.
All right. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. All right. Okay. It's time for me. All right. So, what are you thinking? It's an industry or it's a product that's been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years, actually thousands of
All
years.
right,
What are we guessing? I saw this in the streets of Milan.
my guess, prostitution. I don't know
No.
why, but thousands of years. That's probably the oldest business that exists. I would just say
All right.
it's
All right. All right. All
prostitution.
right. All right. Before we go in that rabbit hole, no, 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 no. All right. It might be related, but it's not. It's a product. It's a product. It's not a service.
Oh, a dildo, a dildo. I'm talking about
No,
dildo
close,
industry.
close, close. No, no, no. We're talking about condoms here. So what I saw in Milan
Thousands of
was,
years.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They have been around for more than five
Hmm.
thousand years. But back then they used intestines. They used, I think,
Ah,
sheep or goat intestines.
yeah.
So super interesting on that perspective. So question: do you know how big the market is
Oof. Globally or just in Italy
globally? Globally,
for condoms?
yeah, just condoms.
Oof.
It's
I mean, we don't do public math, but my guess is like 3 billion.
all right. No, 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 no,
I
no.
really have no idea.
Nice one, nice one. No, no, no. It's 11.2 billion in 2021. And now this is the
Ooh.
interesting things. So this industry has been around for a long, long time. So what are you thinking? Like the market probably is not growing that much, or is it declining? What are you thinking? What is your estimate? What are you thinking?
So my guess is more and more like sexual education is happening across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess is it probably grows like at least 5%, 7% year over year, which is a lot by that size.
Actually, yeah,
How much is it growing?
that's
Tell
a
me.
good one. All right, so the compound annual growth rate is 8.52. So that means we're currently at
Ooh.
11.2 billion in 2021, so like 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to reach by
Yeah.
2030 21.3 billion of market size. So that is
Ooh.
insane, first of all. So just a little bit breaking it down for a little. Why is it growing? So what the growth factors you already mentioned is there is more sexual education in terms of there's massive growing markets, obviously, in countries such as China, Africa, etc. The are more
Yeah.
convenient packaging are created by product companies, and the dating behavior changed. This is
Yeah.
more dating behavior is more in terms of Europe, North America, South America, and then you have social
Hmm.
media has an impact, and then the big ones is policies. China, India, they have policies in place, which obviously makes it more and more interesting for to not have kids, and thereby that has become bigger and bigger. So in 2021, the biggest market is Asia Pacific, because obviously highest population density and cultural things and policies. So just another
Yeah.
background. So the big players are like Trojan, that's the brand, but the company is Church and Dwight.
Oh, isn't that Magnum? Isn't that Magnum?
Yeah, 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 the Trojan
Not that
Magnum.
I know it. I mean, I heard rumors
Yeah,
about it,
exactly. You
but
heard about it. You heard about it. And then actually the second largest one is Fuji Latex, which is a Japanese company that they also create condoms, and they're mostly very
Hmm,
popular in Asia. Right. So then
right.
distribution channels. So how does it actually? I was looking into it. Like, how does it actually break down? So you have mass merchandising, you have drugstores, and e-commerce. Okay, these are the three things
Wait, let
that.
me guess. Let me guess. So
Yeah,
what was it? Drugstores.
yeah,
So like pharmacies. So I'm guessing
yeah.
like CBC. Then like okay, gas stations, and the other one was.
Well, it's like e-commerce and mass merchandisers. It's just like these are the three things
Oh, okay,
that
okay,
are.
okay.
But all right, this is another thing I found there. I don't know, man. Have you ever heard of a female condom?
What? Female condom.
Bro, so this is a female condom, so they look a little
uh,
bit bigger, bro. And and I don't know. Wait. Open the
that's awesome.
open the Google Docs 1 second. I'll copy
All
it in
right,
there so you can see it.
please.
Oh, right here. 1 second. There you go. I Oh no, wrong here. So this is what it looks like.
Oh my god! Are people buying this? Is that
So
actually
so apparently
like what?
it's
What are the numbers?
so so it actually is growing. It's
Big in
growing double
Japan?
digits year over year. No, in like in all
Yeah, but
countries,
if
it's
it's
becoming more and more
like
popular.
thousands,
I don't know. I
okay.
didn't find the numbers in terms of what's the actual metrics, but it seems to be growing rapidly, becoming more and more popular. Also, condoms in general are becoming more and more popular before, well, because of the reasons I mentioned above. All right, so now we come
Yeah.
into the business side, the interesting stuff. All right, how much do you think it costs to produce a single condom? Then also, this is related.
Um.
What do you think is a profit margin of a single condom?
All right. All right. So selling, I think like a 6 or 12 pack sells like for €8, at least here in Barcelona in Spain. So my guess production cost is like 10 cents.
All
Because
right,
if
all
we do
right.
public math, it would be like 80 cents, something like this. 12 pack, eight, if it's 8 or 9, something like this. So yeah, I would say like 10 cents. 10
All right.
cents or 15 cents 15 cents per production cost. How
All
wrong
right.
am I?
It's pretty wrong. So actually, based on my research, it costs to produce a single condom costs 2 to 3 cents, and they retail for roughly $1 per condom. So they resell for 88 cents to $1.45, depends on if you go the premium one, I don't know, ultra thin, ribbed, whatever you want,
Yeah.
flavor. They have it all
Ripped.
nowadays. So the question there
Flavor Flav.
is, I was like, all right, so that brings you to a profit margin of almost 50x. Isn't that fucking insane? This is a
That is
product.
crazy. But
This is
wait,
a
wait, wait,
product that
wait.
is people selling.
In the 2% production cost, does it include shipping?
No, it doesn't include
Or it's just
shipping.
production? Because
So it's just
that's
like
a
production costs.
all right.
So
Because
let's say you have another shipping etc. on top. I mean, these are very very small etc. But then I was thinking, okay, business model wise, so wholesale, how much does it cost to buy condoms, right? I was like, if it costs the
yeah,
company produce 2 to 3 cents, 3 cents. I did a little bit of research. I had to log in and create an account for one thing. I could find Durex, specifically one that was like super thin, 52 cents per condom. Okay, a 12 pack.
wow, okay,
It's a 12 pack. It's a 12 pack, and then per condom it costs 52 cents. So obviously, the bigger the pack
yeah,
you caught to buy, the more expensive, the cheaper they will get.
yeah.
I could resell that based on what I found on Amazon for 1.45 per condom. So that's almost a 3x.
Wow,
Let's say you have
that's
some shipping, etc.
for
That's a 2x.
for
That's
everybody out there listening here. Condom is the way to do resales. Just do
all right.
Amazon. Just
But
reselling
wait
condoms,
for this
guys.
one, bro.
Listen to
Wait,
this.
wait for this one. So what I saw in Milan were condom dispensers. So like these, not a
Ah,
condom
the ones in the old
dispenser.
bars,
No, no, bro. Exactly.
like
That I was thinking too. Is like the old ones that you see and they were fucking sketchy, right? They look sketchy. Come on.
with the freaking like dick ring or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, no, no. You know what I mean? The single ones. But why were they sketchy,
nice.
bro? Because you could get like a single one drops out. You can see through it. It just seems like somebody might have ripped it already. So it's like one of the things that
Yeah,
kept it was like, it looks sketchy. So I found them. All of them had a glass window so you could see through. It's a basic vending machine. Like I don't know,
yeah,
how would you like pop a Coke or something, and then you just buy it directly, and they had them in all the
interesting.
locations. So business idea
Like
here.
in everywhere across the city, or more like
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
in
bar
the city,
district.
like bar districts, anywhere. So you just fucking buy one. I mean, we live in Barcelona, and you put them down to the clubs and just place them there directly. Then drunk people can buy it there, and you don't want to sell them a fucking 12 pack. So now it comes in what changed and why it's increasing also. Like companies such as Durex and all of them, they're creating like
Yeah,
3 packs or 2 packs. So you can buy them in 2 packs. They're
yeah,
like packed individually
that makes
within
sense.
that extra pack. So it's super nice, and it's obviously more convenient for reselling. It makes it much more convenient and available. So
All
business
right.
idea:
How much? How
create.
much did they resell for?
So then you can buy them, I think, also for 52, 53 cents, and then you resell them. I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
You can have a markup. You can sell them for $2 or $3 per condom. I mean, fuck,
yeah.
why not? You're after you drunk. Let's go, get them going. All right. coming back to it, bro.
I
So
mean,
this is something I
like
went a
250
little
or something like
bit.
this.
I went a little bit too far in the rabbit hole. All right, what do you think is a massive issue in the condom industry?
I mean, besides that they rip, or or you mean production?
For the end consumer, like we said before, like you wouldn't buy them because you
Putting
have
it
trust
on the
issue.
wrong way. Putting it on the wrong way.
Okay, all right.
So
I guess
people
like
don't know that they have to do the tip and then just roll it down, or they roll
okay,
it down the wrong way first and then reverse it, and then it still fucks it
all
up.
right,
All right, tell me.
fair enough. Okay, now do you buy brand or an off brand, a
Oh
brand that you
well, I don't
trust?
know, some Spanish brand,
All right, so
a
a
brand that I
brand.
trust.
Okay, all right. So I found this out. I went a little bit into the rabbit hole there. There have been one of the biggest problems in the condom industry are counterfeited condoms. Yep, you heard that right.
What? That's
Counterfeited
crazy.
condoms. Yes, and it's a
That's crazy.
massive problem. So, so Daily Mail found out. I don't know, wrote an article that in I don't know 2 years ago, I think 2021, they found 2 million boxes
Yeah.
of fake condoms released to local markets in China. And the problem is with that they are not protecting you from STDs, etc. There specifically was a case where
Holy
a
shit.
woman got a fungi infection even though she used a condom, and because these are not 100%. I would say they let some bacteria and
Like
diseases
waterproof,
through.
like in,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly, exactly.
yeah.
So there
And I'm
was
assuming
it.
they don't have that liquid protection or whatever it's
Yeah,
on the
exactly. They
outside.
have all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then another thing was just like, hey, maybe this is just a problem in China. All right, did a little bit
Yeah.
more digging, and guess what? What I found, even in Barcelona in Spain. In 2020, two businessmen flooded the local market with more than 15,000 boxes of condoms, Durex condoms.
Man,
Bro, what the heck, man?
that's a great find.
You can't even trust your local condom sellers. I'm telling you, man. I was like, what the heck is this bullshit? And the funny thing is how they
Man, I
found
hope not
out.
on Amazon.
Yeah,
I
buy them on
really hope.
Amazon, guys. You heard it. And the funny thing about this was that they had misspellings on them.
Amazing. Oh,
Like they I don't know, they spelled condoms wrong, I think, and they didn't have the CE marking. I don't know if you know what that
like the
is.
Trojan, not the Trojan, the Trojan.
Yeah, exactly like that.
What?
So do you know what the CE marking is? I don't know if
What
you
is the
noticed it. The
CE marking?
electronics has it as
Please
well. So
explain
it's
me.
like a certificate that brands have to use to standard of European health regulations. It's like a CE, it's
Ah,
black.
like similar to the TÜV, like
Yeah,
a similar thing.
exactly, similar like that.
All right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. Hmm.
so insane. Anyways, so coming back to the opportunity, then I think
Yeah.
people should have more of these fucking condom dispensers, but the trusty ones that you can trust. These are all branded one. Maybe reach out to a brand like, hey, we're only gonna carry Durex. Give us a good deal. We got the good locations. This is basically free
Yeah.
ads for you as well. Get it going. I think it's not bad, right? What are you thinking?
It's amazing. I think that's super. That's an amazing idea. I mean, to be honest, that's amazing find. Like, I have no idea how you found out about that, especially with the flooding. Man, that's super cool.
I know. Be safe out there, guys. Be safe out there, and ladies, of course.
Buy on Amazon. Buy on Amazon, or try the female condom. I mean, man,
Sounds great, man. Not
anybody,
gonna lie
one
to
of
you.
the listeners, whoever tried
Interesting,
it
man.
out. I mean, we probably only have male listeners, but for the one female listener out there, if you ever tried it, or guys, let me know. I I really want to know. I have to after this. I want to check it out on Amazon, like how to buy it. That like
Will
super
do.
super interesting.
All right, bro. That's it. That's it for me, though, man. That's it for me. So I was a little bit
Oh
sketched
man,
out. Not
that
gonna
was,
lie,
yeah.
but
I think
I'm
that was a
excited.
great part. We went from esports gaming to condoms. If
Well,
that's not the perfect
our
for,
fake guys, they're trying to produce the new generations of gamers by selling condoms that don't work. So I think that's full circle. We got this.
awesome, awesome. All right, Mark. I think that's the
All right,
pod,
bro.
and yeah, catch you in the next
That's the
one.
pot. Catch the next one. Peace.